All right, guys, what is up? Nate McAllister here. I want to talk today about Pikzels. So, Pikzels is a thumbnail generator, AI powered, really cool, but do you need it? Is it worth it? Because it's not super cheap. Let's check the pricing here. Right now, it's about, it's not that bad. 14 bucks a month, $28 per month, or 56. If you do sign up, you want this one, not this one, and not this one. This one doesn't have enough. This one's just right, and this one you get stuff that is not necessary, like all generations remain private. Who cares about that? Early access to new features. I don't know why they do that. I feel like everybody should get access to that. But anyway, that's what you would want. So I actually went ahead and did a couple of demos. So let's talk about Pikzels really quick. The real value of it is that you have the ability to create what are called personas. So you can clone yourself and you can use yourself in thumbnails. Or if you do YouTube for clients, you can create your client and then you can use them in thumbnails. Some of them come out much better than others. Some of them come out super whack, but it's still worth it to me. The way that I use it is I'll mess around with thumbnails. Some of them will be garbage. I don't really care because I'm just trying to get that one good one. And then a lot of the times I will still take that thumbnail and go into Canva to kind of finish it off. Just because an AI can make thumbnails doesn't mean that it's all that we should use, right? It'd be great if it was just one click and you're done, but to really make a good thumbnail, you should put a little bit more effort into it. Sometimes these are ready to go right out of the gate, but other times they need a little bit of tweaking, and I usually just bounce them over into Canva. So let's talk about the features here that it has. First, over here on the left, the biggest thing, like I said, is personas. To create a persona, you upload 15 to 20 images of yourself or whoever the client is. They don't need to be like professionally taken. If you have a lot of pictures of yourself across the internet that are relatively recent, or on your phone roll, even selfies, stuff like that, I was able to actually use mine with just pictures I happen to have like in my camera roll. You only need 15 to 20. They need to be different lightings. It says you can do at least 10, but the more, the merrier. Especially if you have a lot of you smiling, teeth are kind of an issue with it. So the more that you're able to show at your teeth, the better. You don't want to wear like hats or anything. You just want to have different angles, different lightings. Don't overthink it. You can always redo it. That is going to cost most of your, not most, that's going to be the biggest credit usage, right? So I believe that costs like 200 credits. Okay. So one persona is 200 credits. Next feature that we have is styles. So you're actually able to take, whether it's your own or someone else's, you can create styles so that when you make a thumbnail, it'll kind of reference that, right? So think of someone that you really like and you want to make thumbnails in their style. You can do that. It'll use like their fonts and just, it's not going to steal their stuff, but it's going to create a, just like kind of like a theme that you can then use. This is also really great if you've been doing thumbnails, you have your own theme and your own design, and you just want to keep it and keep current with it, and you don't want to remake it every time. You can clone your own style. Or if you have clients and they have a lot of existing thumbnails and they want to keep their same style, make them one in here, or you can make one from anybody, right? They did recently just add new models, so it did improve format. You can do long form or short form. So if you want to make whether they're 1280 by 720 thumbnails or they are the 1080 by 1920, you know what I mean? Horizontal or vertical, right? Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you. So this is the first one. The first feature is just basic prompt. You just give it a prompt, and the more detailed, the better. This one, I said a dark office building with an employee sitting looking at a screen. Other desks have robots in them. The text says you're being replaced. It nailed the text, which is kind of a big thing for AI. AI has notoriously not been good at text. That's pretty good. If you want, and you want to really make sure that the text is great, just ask for it without the text, take it over to Canva, download it, edit it, right? And let's say that I didn't like this. I could then come into edit and I can change anything that I want. I can do selections for different areas. I can add whatever I want. You can actually select things. So like right here, let's select his head and say, say make his face look like it's blurring out of focus. Just kind of give the idea of like he's disappearing because of AI. Let's see what it does. Sometimes it's whack. Sometimes it's so bad, but sometimes it's really good. So let's see. Also, if you start editing the faces, it's going to change them dramatically. So you got to be careful. Give this a second. While we're doing that, the next thing we're going to do is recreate. Recreate lets us actually take existing thumbnails and do things like swap our face into them or just change them up slightly. I like that a lot. That's when we do start to border on the part that I don't like, which is kind of stealing. Most thumbnails are kind of a remix of each other. Don't just take anyone's design, but this kind of is the future. Okay, so that time it really didn't do much. You can actually compare the original to that. Actually, the original was better. So each time you do an edit, it's going to cost you about 10 credits. Yeah, 10 credits. And I have 17,000 credits. I have more than enough credits. Okay. Let's try it again. The part that stinks is that you do not get your credits back. Make So let's see if that works any better. Sometimes if you just select the face, it messes with it. Give that another second. One thing to note, you can't use styles and personas together. You have to use one at a time. You can make one with the style and then add your persona. Pretty cool, but it's not. I would love if you could use both simultaneously, but currently you cannot. They do have their own Discord. They do have a bunch of tutorials. You do get access to your older work, just kind of like you would in ChatGPT. If you run out of credits, you can always buy more, but if you're on that middle tier that I told you to get, you should be good. One tool that you'll want to have is called YouTube thumbnaildownloader.com. It's free. Save that link. I usually will use that when I'm trying to see, this is what I mean. Like it's not understanding what I'm trying to tell it to do here. But again, that's not a huge deal. What I could do, let me show you an example of what I do when I'm trying to do something and this isn't really working. Let's go into Canva, YouTube thumbnail. Let's go ahead and drag that in here. Let's go ahead and set image as background. Okay. And then I'm going to clone that. Let's go ahead and drag it again. Do this. And I'll do background remover. And I'll do edit. And then I will do blur. Let's say that that's what I was trying to do. That's how I would do it, right? And once you're in here, you can do other stuff that would be a little bit more difficult inside of Pikzels. That. So I find that a lot of the times using what they give me and then bringing it into Canva is really how I get the best thumbnails. Unfortunately, it's not at the point yet where you can talk to it and it just knows exactly what you want. It can be pretty good, but it's not always, right? The next big thing is recreate. Let me show you here. So on this one, I did a thumbnail where I wanted to recreate this, just a basic example. Uploaded it, and you see it did it, but it made my head way too big. And then I did it again, and it made me like bald. It's not bad though. That one looks more like me. Pretty easy to do. You can either upload an image, and they do have a link coming soon. And then once you're in there, you can do the face swap, right? So you can actually come in here and select the face and change it to whatever you want. So let's go ahead and upload one more. Let's go to YouTube. Let's just find a thumbnail. Let's see what this one looks like. Let's go ahead and copy that. And then we'll go to thumbnail downloader. Download that. I am going to show you guys another way that you can use, another tool that you can use to get personas. Just do a face swap here and see what we get. Another feature while we're waiting on that is the title. You can create titles. That's really not a very big feature. I feel like that's just kind of like something that they felt like adding. I use VidIQ for most of that other stuff. That's not bad. That doesn't look exactly like me, but it's not terrible. Okay, so that is that. The title generator, yeah. I use VidIQ. Let me show you one more use. Actually, let me show you VidIQ too here while we're in here. Let's go to YouTube Studio. When you go to, I just published this video. Let's go to content. Let's go to edit. VidIQ actually has their own thumbnail builder that works very similar to Pikzels. It's not perfect though, but it gets pretty good. I mean, you come into reference, it'll actually go from your own videos. You can also upload things, and you can also use subjects. So anyone that you've used in your thumbnails before, you can use it. So I could use that. Pretty cool, but I still like to do mine in Pikzels and Canva. Okay, one last thing I want to show you is ideogram.ai. So ideogram used to be the only AI image generator I used to use because it does a really good job with text, but we don't necessarily need that anymore because other AI image generators can do it now. Let's do this. So I'm going to use a persona. What's cool about this is that it only requires one image, whereas Pikzels requires a ton and they don't give you amazing outputs. I'm going to do this. So let's say just man holding a let's say baseball bat. Just want to show you what it's going to look like. So it's going to take that one picture and it's going to create images of me. What I like to do with this is take these, download them, remove the background, and then use them in thumbnails. Let me show you. So that's just from one picture of me. And it's giving me these that are not bad, right? I mean, that's goofy as crap, but strikers. That's not terrible, right? And it only took one image. If you have one good profile picture, that will work. But all right, guys, that is it. That is Pikzels in a nutshell. Good tool. Is it perfect? No. Is it worth it? Yes, especially when you start to calculate how much it costs to get a good thumbnail and the value of a thumbnail. It's absolutely worth it. It's not for everybody, but if you're making money with your content, it's worth considering. Also, Ideogram, check that out. And VidIQ. If you're on YouTube and you're serious about YouTube, you need VidIQ, or TubeBuddy's good too, but VidIQ has kind of become the better one. So definitely check it out. Links to all of these things are down below in the description. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to follow or subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.